Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Unapologetic Podcast. This is your girl Maya, and yes, I am back again. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I hope all is well with each and every one of you. Me, I am feeling much better than I was from last week, and definitely feeling way better than the week prior to that. Shout out to each and every one of you who has tuned into the podcast. My new listeners, shout out to y'all for making me y'all new favorite podcaster. Make sure y'all keep tapping into Instagram, Unapologetic X Podcast. Guys, you can call the number, and if you do not want your number to show up, please call *67 646 580 2512. Leave a voicemail. You can give topic suggestions. You can weigh in on a topic. You can give segment suggestions. You can even ask a question if you need some advice. So don't be afraid. If you don't want to call in, just hit me up on the DMs and we go from there. So make sure y'all keep listening, subscribing, sharing, engaging, tap in with me. Let me know what y'all want to hear. Basically, that's it. That's all. Period, poo. But yes, so some of you may or may not know that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And this episode, I'm going to help bring awareness to domestic violence. And some of you may or may not know that domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and or other abusive behavior as part of a systematic pattern, right? So when you think of domestic violence, you think between two people, obviously, right? Which also is a system of power and control. It's repeated. And it happens to vulnerable people. Like and not just vulnerable people, because you could be really well into your relationship before this may or may not happen. But most times in an abusive relationship, whatever kind of abuse it is, it happens to people who become vulnerable to their partner. Let's talk about financial abuse. Say if I am, which I am, a woman, and I'm living with my partner, and we've been together for some time now. We've been together for a couple of years, or 2 years, 3 years. And I lose my job, or I become pregnant, so now I become a stay-at-home mom. And I no longer have income because I'm at home taking care of the household and the kids. So I don't have my own income. I have no income besides, I don't know. And my partner starts controlling the money. Because, he feels because he makes the money, it's his money. In some relationships, you have the man who will say, here, babe, here's, you have access to the bank account, so you don't ever feel like you need to come to me and ask me for anything. Just let me know whatever you do take out within reason. You have in some relationships where, because I don't have any money, I'm kind of forced to go to you and ask you for money, and then you ask me, what do I need the money for? That's a form of power and control, because you're controlling what I can and cannot buy, and you're making a decision whether or not I really need it, or you know what I mean? Because if I had my own money, I wouldn't have to come to you and ask you for it, which means, yeah, you're controlling me. People don't see it like that. You want to talk about physical abuse, and that includes shoving, mushing, pushing, hitting, punching, slapping, all of that. And I know people who are in physically abusive relationships, and they don't claim it as to be that, they don't claim it as such, because, oh, he just pushed me or he just mushed me. Like anything that's physical where you're putting your hands on someone, that's physical abuse. Sexual abuse, your partner's forcing you to have sex with them. They're taking it with force. And I hear so many times, or I have heard so many times, someone say, you can't rape your husband, you can't rape your wife, you cannot rape your girlfriend. And it's just the most ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life. In my life. If we are married or I'm in a relationship with you and I just simply say, babe, I don't feel like it. Or, babe, not right now. And it's not like I have an attitude or whatever the case. I'm just really not in the mood. And you don't accept my no, and you forcefully make me want it, or you force yourself onto me. That's sexual abuse in a relationship. A lot of you probably may disagree with me because it's like, oh, it's mine. No, it's mine. It's part of my body. And if I tell you no, that's that. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whoever the fuck you are, no means no. And that's where it comes in relationships with power and control and being submissive and in your relationship, because sometimes you can be too submissive where your partner may take advantage of that because you're being vulnerable. And I know recently I was talking to a friend of mine, and her and her boyfriend live together. They don't have any kids together. The relationship is fairly new. And I remember talking to her one day, and I noticed something different. And she said, yeah, girl, that situation is done. And I'm like, girl, what happened? Like, what happened? What do you mean? And she was like, yeah, niggas just don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. And right then and there, I knew, right? I'm like, she talking because she's hurt, mainly. When you hurt, you tend to vent more. And I knew, but I still asked the question of, what are you gonna do? And she told me, I'm not going back. But I could tell, because I've been there. You not. It's not that you don't want to go. It's not like you don't want to leave. You're not ready to leave, because most often, and I can only speak from a woman's perspective. Most often in a relationship, us women give the benefit of the doubt to our partner. We we make so many excuses. We make so many excuses when it comes down to the way we are treated in our relationship. And we tend to blame ourselves as a victim, right? It's my fault because, or maybe if I didn't do X, Y, and Z, he would have never did whatever he did, right? We make excuses, and then we put the blame onto ourselves, and we turn the mirror onto ourselves and look at what did we do wrong, right? Maybe if I would have washed the dishes, he would never got mad and start yelling at me, and he would have never got in my face and then pushed me or mushed me or punched me or threw me against the wall. Maybe had I just not taken a 30-minute nap, maybe he would have never done that, right? Because I was tired, because I'm taking care of kids all day. But we make excuses. And it sucks because we love so hard as women. And I said to her, she said, well, I already got my family, involved. They really don't want him around anymore. And I just told her straight up, I was like, if you are not ready to go, which you are not, I said, the last thing you want to do is involve anybody that's not going to be supportive in whatever decision you decide to do. Whether you decide to stay with that man or you decide to leave that man, you want someone who's going to be fairly neutral, regardless of the circumstances of the relationship. And I said, now you involve people who don't even want you to be with this man. So the next time it happens, who are you going to call? Right? Because after so many times, it's like the little boy who cried wolf. After so many times, people are going to start falling off the wagon on their way to come save you. And the one time that you really may need them, they're not going to come. And I'm not saying, oh, don't call anybody or whatever. Because sometimes you do need a break and catch your mind, catch your thoughts, and really evaluate the situation. And whether you decide to stay or leave does not make you weak. It does not make you any weaker, strong, or stronger. When you leave, yeah, you're strong as fuck because you made that decision and you made that decision permanently. If you decide to stay, it does not make you weak. It does not make you less of a person. It does not mean that you don't love yourself. It doesn't mean any of that. And that's where people have it fucked up in the perception of, oh, it can never be me. Girl, I don't know how you do it. Girl, if that was me, I would have did whoop-de-whoop, whoop, 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 whoop. Ma'am, if you were in the situation, that's the time that you can speak on the situation. Like I said, there's many forms of abuse. You may be in a relationship and your boyfriend, because y'all got sex tapes together. Y'all got some sex tapes together. Y'all got some shit, right? And he say, and he doing whatever he wants to do, whatever. And he say, if you leave me, or you decide to leave because you don't want to be in this relationship anymore. He says, well, if you leave, I'm going to post this and, I'm going to post this on Facebook or wherever. And I'm going to show everybody how nasty or how dirty of a slut you are. Or how nasty of a bitch or a hoe that you are. Look at this hoe. Try to turn a hoe into a housewife, right? Now, here comes the mental, I can't even say the word, psychological abuse, right? Where the abuser uses things to keep you there. I know one time something had taken place and this person, it was a couple of events where this they did something where, let's just say, they started crying or they reacted in a way to make you look at them with empathy. You wanted to empathize with them, like, oh damn, like I didn't mean to hurt. Like, it's so fucked up, right? It's the psychological abuse because I'm hurt. I'm telling you that I'm hurt, and then you flip it and then you make it seem like I'm trying to paint you out to be the villain when you're not taking accountability for the things that you did. The way you talk to me, the way that you're trying to use things that we have done together as a couple against me. There's verbal abuse. This is a big one. Verbal abuse is major. When someone just talks down to you, make you feel less of who you are, when they call you out your name, or whether it's you stupid bitch, you dumb bitch, you nasty bitch, you ain't worth shit, lazy, pathetic, worthless piece of shit of a bitch. You are a fucking bitch. Fuck you, bitch. You ain't gonna be shit without me. You can't do better than me. Ain't no nigga gonna want you. Right? And we go through it so many times that we start to believe that shit. Oh, and don't let you have kids. Don't let you have kids with this abuser of yours. It's gonna be even harder to leave. Financial abuse when you have kids, emotional abuse when you have kids, sexual abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. Now here's where the plot thickens. Because all of that is bad, right? Without the kids. Bring the kids into the situation, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, however many kids you guys got together. Now your kids are witnessing daddy hitting mommy, daddy pushing mommy, daddy mushing mommy, daddy talking, being real disrespectful to mommy, making mommy cry. And like I said, I can only speak from a woman's perspective. I do know that men can also go through abuse in their relationship. But I can only speak from a woman's perspective, someone who has some insight on being in an abusive relationship. And you have to draw the line, or daddy, doesn't help mommy, when she needs things or whatever. We often we really don't want our kids to see us hurt. I know, especially for me, I would never want my son to look at me and be like, and feel like it's okay to talk to a woman in any, that's disrespectful, that's not respecting her. I would never want my son to think it's okay to put his hands on women, or to psychologically abuse women, or sexually abuse women, or financially abuse women. I don't ever want him to feel like he's in control and he has the power to do whatever he wants because he is the sole provider in his relationship, in his marriage, right? It's just wanting better for our kids. If I had a little girl, I wouldn't want my little girl to say, my mommy went through it and she stayed, so that's love, right? We get it so fucked up when it comes to our kids. And that's when I say, people say, oh, it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. And it can easily be you. You can easily be in a situation just in any type of abusive relationship. It's possible. It's not like it can't, like you're just refrain from, like you just have abusive repellent surrounding you. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, boo. I know, and it's crazy. So when I was younger, I had this mindset, like I'm 28 now. Maybe when I was like maybe in my early 20s, let's just say between the ages of like 18 and 21, or maybe 18, no, like 17 to 20. And I know a lot of you women can probably relate and probably still can relate. I had this mentality that if a man that I was with got mad and he became very passionate about something that I have done, oh, he care about me. Oh my God, he cares. That means he loves me because he's expressing himself to me. He's passionate about it not being however it looks, right? Because it's so rare for a man to really, truly show his feelings to anybody, right? And if a man really cares about you, he's going to show you that other side of him. That's the mindset that I had. And that's how it is even now today. We know as women, men do not open up as often as women open up. So damn, when a man really does open up, he's letting you in. He's there. He cares for you, right? But what about the man who opens up and he's expressing himself to you? So now you're thinking, oh, he really does care about me, like I said. Oh, he hit me. He must really care because he was so passionate with his words that he fucked up and he hit me. Think about what I just said. There's good and bad parts of opening up. You have the good where it's good. There's nothing else behind it. Then you have the bad where I just want you to feel bad because you're calling me out on my shit. And baby, I didn't mean to hit you. Think about it. Think about it. Because I can relate to that. I had this boyfriend that we was together for some time. And I remember, like, he was in the streets. He was in the streets bad. And he never, like, really opened up to me. Unless he was mad about some shit. Like, unless he was mad, he didn't really open up. And I remember the one time when he did, like, kind of yell. In my mind, I'm like, oh, he does care about, like, so stupid of me. And I blame myself because I'm just like, that's not love. Love shouldn't hurt. Love shouldn't make you feel anything but good. And I remember the first time he, like, called me out my name. And then it hurt me because I'm like, why would he call me a bitch? But then he apologized. Baby, I'm sorry. That's how it always go. Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Baby, you know I was just upset. Baby, I don't know why you do this, and this and that. Because you know that I love you. Right? We hear that a lot. Or he fucks up. So who's coming in the house with flowers? Who's showing up to the job with an edible arrangement? Who's showing up with a promise ring of, baby, I will never again? And that's where the systematic cycle of abuse starts. Once you take it one time, once you forgive and continue on in that relationship, that's where it all begins. Listen, that's where it begins. And you may want to be naive to no, he meant what he said. Right? He meant what he said. He'll never do it again. He'll never abuse me in any way ever again. It always, once they fuck up, once the man fucks up, not long after the apology, not long will he fuck up again. He will fuck up again. He's either gonna do something, whether it's hitting you, whether it's verbally, emotionally, mentally, or verbally. He's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. Until you as a woman say enough is enough. Today is not the day. Not today am I going to continue to be in this type of relationship because I want more for myself, because I know I deserve better, because I know that I am strong, and right now I may not be as strong as I can be. I may not have the potential to be so right now, but I know that I'm strong. I know I have the ability to leave and to walk away. And it's not as easy as just picking up and walking away when you live with someone, or you have kids with someone and you're in an abusive relationship. It's not easy. It's not 1, 2, 3, I can go, especially if you do not have a support system. Say if it's just you and your husband and your kids, you don't work. Where are you going? Where? That's why it's such a cycle. It's a generational curse. The cycle has to start. It has to stop with someone. So either you saw it growing up or you didn't see it growing up. You may be the first one to go through it. But are you going to allow your kids to see that? So it has to stop with someone. And like I said, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you stupid, dumb. It does not mean that you don't love yourself. It just, you're stuck. You're stuck in a relationship with someone that you really do love and you care about, and you want to see the good in them. You want to keep the image of the person that you fell in love with, that you may share kids with. you want to continue to believe in the good in that person from when y'all first fell in love. And I get it. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that I was able to share or spread some awareness, give a little bit of insight on domestic violence and abusive relationships. Like I said, it's not easy to walk away. And when and if you do have the strength to do so, that's the day that your new chapter begins. If you need some help, please call 1-800-799-7233, or you can text the word START, that's START, and you can text START to 88788. Until next time, later.